The secret actually consists of 3 parts, the first 2 of which have been publicly revealed. The first part of the secret was a horrifying vision of hell, where the souls of poor sinners go, and contained an urgent plea from Our Lady for acts of prayer and sacrifice to save souls. The second part of the secret specifically prophesied the outbreak of World War II and contained the Mother of God's solemn request for the consecration of Russia as a condition of world peace. It also predicted the inevitable triumph of her Immaculate Heart, following Russia's consecration and the conversion of that poor nation to the Catholic faith. The last part of the secret, often called the third secret, was written down by Lucy dos Santos, the last living Fatima seer, in 1944 and has been in the possession of the Holy See since 1957. Most informed sources speculate that this portion of the secret concerns chaos in the Catholic Church, predicting widespread apostasy and a loss of faith, beginning in the 7th decade 1970s of the 20th century. Though instructed by the Blessed Mother to release the third secret in 1960, the Vatican failed to do so and offered no explanation for their doing so. When Pope John Paul II finally did release what he claimed was the third secret, he also imposed a strict ban on anyone having access to the last surviving Fatima seer, which remains in effect to this very day. But listen to the Pope from this article in the German magazine Stimme des Glaubens, which published the following account of Pope John Paul II's interview with a small group of German Catholics on the occasion of his visit to Florida in November of 1980. Question: Holy Father, what has become of the third secret of Fatima? According to Our Lady's instructions, wasn't it supposed to be revealed in 1960? And what will happen in the Church? John Paul II: because of the seriousness of its contents, in order not to encourage the worldwide power of communism to carry out certain coups, my predecessors in the chair of Peter have diplomatically preferred to withhold its publication. On the other hand, it should be sufficient for all Christians to know this much: if there is a message in which it is said that the oceans will flood entire sections of the earth, that, from one moment to the other, millions of people will perish, there is no longer any point in really wanting to publish this secret message. Many want to know merely out of curiosity, or because of their taste for sensationalism, but they forget that to know implies for them a responsibility. It is dangerous to want to satisfy one's curiosity only, if one is convinced that we can do nothing against a catastrophe that has been predicted. At this point, the Holy Father took hold of his rosary and said, "Here is the remedy against the evil. Pray, pray and ask for nothing else. Put everything in the hands of the Mother of God." Then he went on to say we must be prepared to undergo great trials in the not-too-distant future. Trials that will require us to be ready to give up even our lives, and a total gift of self to Christ and for Christ. Through your prayers and mine, it is possible to alleviate this tribulation, but it is no longer possible to avert it, because it is only in this way that the Church can be effectively renewed. How many times, indeed, has the renewal of the Church been effected in blood? This time, again, it will not be otherwise. We must be strong, we must prepare ourselves, we must entrust ourselves to Christ and to His Holy Mother, and we must be attentive, very attentive, to the prayer of the Rosary. Pope John Paul I, however, and as soon as he had read the third secret, reportedly shook with horror